Okay, everyone. I'd like to welcome everyone to Lean On Me Radio and Podcast. And today's interview is with Jessie. I met Jessie on Clapper, and her and I actually started Lean On Me Radio together. And then she moved on to bigger and better things, so to speak. Anyway, Jessie is a very wonderful person, and I love her to death. And so welcome, Jessie, and welcome everybody else. Jessie, I'm going to open the floor to you right now, and I'd like you to give an introduction about yourself, what you do you have any disabilities, that sort of thing, and we'll go from there.
Hello, I'm Jessie, like Rita said. I am a mom of 3 kids. One of them is off in college and the other one is graduating from high school. So I'm working my way towards empty nest, bittersweet. And I stay at home. I have some health issues, so I'm not able to work anymore, but I was a nurse and I loved being a nurse. It is a huge part of who I am. And I love doing arts and crafts to keep me busy, keep my mind distracted, and hanging out with my friends.
That is so awesome, Jessie. Thank you. So Jessie, you and I have known each other for a very long time. I want to say probably right at a year. And in that time, I have come to know a lot about you and about your disabilities. Can we get into a little bit of explaining what you've got going on with you and how it hinders you? And then we'll get into some of the things you do to overcome those disabilities.
Yeah, yeah, because I like to push through and keep going, focus on the positives. But one of the main things that I have is uncommon. It's quite rare, especially the type I have. It's multiple vascular malformations tied to genetic mutation. So it's tumors from head to toe, deep tissued in the organs and everywhere. So it causes a lot of other health issues that come along with it, affecting my heart the most.
Wow. So, with that being said, what does it keep you from doing? If you were to let it keep you down, what could it cause? That's what I want to ask.
Um, I mean, anything that makes your heart work harder is hard for me to do. So that's pretty much everything. Um, and then walking is difficult because I have vascular necrosis of my hip. So I'm supposed to be using a cane or walker at this point, but I refuse to. It's not to the point that I am mentally to do that, so I manage.
Right. I totally understand. I know you're a strong person, and I just love, that you are a go-getter and that you just keep going no matter what. So let me ask you this then, Jessie. What are some of the things that you do to take care of yourself with the condition that you have?
I try to stay positive and just focus on the good things in my life that I have and why I'm going through what I do every day. That helps me stay grounded. And I learned a long time ago that my body is failing, but that doesn't mean that I have an expiration date on me. So I don't have to live that way, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense. And do you have to like be on a special diet or anything like that? Is there any type of exercise that you try to do to maintain yourself physically?
Yeah, I'm on a lot of diets. I'm low sodium, no sodium, no fatty foods, soft foods only. Um, oh, there's a list of them. And I do physical therapy exercises every day for each part of my body. Um, and I try to take a daily walk, and even if it's just a few feet, like whatever I can do that day is what I do. But I always try to do at least something.
Right. We have to keep ourselves going no matter what. And with that, we have to have some kind of physical exercise. Even if we're bedridden, I was bedridden myself at one time. And with that, I still had to move around. So I would do the type of exercises that I could do from my bed. And it was really, really helpful. You know, I'm the type of person who truly believes if we just give up completely, we might as well just basically lay down, if you know what I mean. And I'm not the type of person to give up either. I noticed that Rooster had his hand raised. Rooster, did you have a question? If you did, I'll unmute your mic. If not, if anyone else in the room has a question for Jessie, please raise your hand and I will unmute your mic. And if
Well,
not, go ahead, Jessie.
I do want to say that I am an advocate for people to know their own body and know what's best for themselves. Everybody is different, and sometimes in the medical field, unfortunately, you kind of just get lumped in. And I was that way, and I eventually kind of decided it's my body and I know what's best for myself, and I took the reins, and I'm still here and alive today, and the doctors are always so surprised, but I really do believe it's because I knew myself and trusted myself. So I personally advocate to other people to do the same. Like, you know your body, you know how you feel and what works for you.
I agree 100%. I'm going to open the mic for Dawn. I see she's got her hand raised. Go ahead, Dawn.
Hey, hi Jess, babe. I just have a question about your medical background. As a nurse, do you feel that that's helped you on your, health journey? Um, I know you're my kind of resident medical expert, and when I have any concerns or questions, you're my go-to. And I'm just wondering if you find it helpful for yourself, or, I'm a social worker by trade, and I can't social work myself, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I get that. I could be like, nurses are their own worst and their worst person to take care of, kind of, because we do know some things, and I do get that. I try to keep that reined in, but at the same time, all that knowledge has helped me so much, and I've been able, like, I saved my life myself 2 times. So I wouldn't be here today without that knowledge, that information. So it did help me.
That's exactly what I was getting at. I know that it has helped you. I just wondered what your opinion on that was. Sorry.
No, it was a great question.
Yes, thank you so much, Dawn. Okay, does anybody else have any questions for Jessie at this time? If not, Jessie, I guess the next thing I want to ask you about is your social media platforms. What is your favorite platform and why?
I'm mostly on Clapper. Um, I tried TikTok. I'm on Facebook, but that's, for me personally, I keep that to like family and friends, but because my family's on there, I enjoy Clapper a bit more. I don't want that to sound horrible, but I like the escape that Clapper provides for me. Um, and I am making real friends on Clapper, and that is what I really wanted. I wanted to make real friends um, that were different from the people in my community because I knew that there was people out there for me. I just needed to find them.
I couldn't have stated that any better. That's exactly, I love Clapper. I do. And if I could get, you know, all of my closest friends that I do associate with on a daily basis over to Clapper, I mean, it would be amazing. You know what I'm saying? I see that Rooster has his hand raised, so let me open up his mic. Go ahead, Rooster, and welcome in.
Thank you, Rita. Good afternoon, everyone. Jessie, you are an amazing individual. You are one of the most caring and thoughtful people that I've ever met in my life, and I do appreciate you so much. I would like you to share a little bit more about what you do on social media and your interaction with creators across the internet.
Yeah, I actually am having so much fun doing certain things on Clapper. I am part of, well, it's Rooster's feed now. Clapper News and Reviews is what some people know it as. I write articles and interviewing creators on all platforms, mostly Clapper at this point, but we're opening that up, I believe. So, um, I also have the crafting corner for the newspaper, and I enjoy that also because that's one of my passions in life. And I am in the play that is going to be having an encore this Saturday, the 23rd at 1 p.m. on Clapper Pride or Clapper Radio. Um, I'm the narrator for that. We had to try out, and it has been so much fun. I've gotten to know more people, and I don't. It's brought me out of my shell a little bit. I feel like it has. I'm I'm sure some people would agree, I hope. But, I'm having a lot of fun with that, and there's more plays to come, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm also part of Clapper Pride Radio, and I've really gotten to know a lot of people from that radio, and I enjoy it. I enjoy our topics, and the interactions there. And I also recently started Girl Talk with a few of the ladies that are actually here today. And I'm looking forward to what that radio is going to bring Clapper.
That is so awesome, Jesse. And I am so glad you asked that question, Rooster. That was actually going to be my next question, but I'm glad you asked it. And it brings me to this, okay? So, with all the involvement that you have on Clapper and all the different radios that you're involved in, let's talk a little bit about that, Jesse. What are the radios about, the different radios? And, because I really want people to get more involved with Clapper. And like I said, this is going to be going out on YouTube. So with that, more eyes are going to be on it and more people are going to be hearing this. So let's talk a little bit about those radios that you're involved in and a little bit more about the newspaper. And I will get the links at the end so that I can add those links to the YouTube channel once I get it posted. So take the floor.
Well, I'd like to start with Lean on Me because that was the very first radio that I actually participated in. Um, and I am very glad that I started it with you, Rita. And unfortunately, due to my medical situation and my son's medical situation, it was just too overwhelming. So I did have to step back. But I am an advocate for this radio. I still tell everybody about it. I think it's a great thing for any app. to have some kind of radio that gives you a place to go to say what you need to say and be heard. And Lean On Me has always done that. The second radio I joined was Clapper Pride Radio, and I joined that because I'm an ally, and I feel very strongly that everyone has the right to love who they want to love, and every human on this earth deserves that. So I enjoy that radio, and there's been some bumps along the way, but we have been going strong for, I believe it's over 6 months now. And it does provide a safe place for the community. And Clapper really does need that radio. Whether they know it or not yet, they definitely need it. And it's a good thing to have. Clapper News and Reviews, or Rooster Speed. I joined a long time ago too, actually, around the same time, maybe even before Clapper Pride Radio. I'd have to even look. I'm not sure. It's been a long time. But I started doing Crafting Corner first in the newspaper, and I enjoy it. I have fun with it. But I wanted it to be more than just me doing arts and crafts. I wanted the Clapper community, and now even other platforms, to bond and come together in arts and crafts. And there's so many different types of arts that I want everyone to share, and like we can come together in a positive way with that. So that's something that I enjoy doing. And I wanted to bring that to the newspaper a little bit more, pull some other people in. So that's when I started doing interviews. At first, it was just only art specifically, people that do something in the art world. And then I decided I wanted to also do creators that provide some kind of positivity to this app or to the world in general, that do good things, that bring good things. I have interviewed so many amazing people. It's changed my life, and I'm hoping it's doing the same for other people. And then I have the women's radio, which is that's newer. It's been on for a couple weeks now. It started the first week of April. We call it Girl Talk. It's a radio for women to discuss women issues. And we just started it, so we're just now starting to dive into things, and I see so much potential with this radio. I'm hoping it can bond women over Clapper, and we've had some gentlemen come into the radio and listen at the bottom, and I'm hoping that can bring some positive interactions on and off the app. So those are what I'm in right now. And then the play is finishing up. Canceled is finishing up, and then they're starting some new mystery radios, and I'm super excited about that. I enjoy the murder mystery type things, so I think it's going to be extra fun for me to hopefully be involved, and if not, be able to watch this develop and turn into something amazing, because that's what Cancel did. Cancel did exactly that, and I'm sure that there's going to be the same kind of process, and involvement with the community is so important, and these plays do that for our app, our community.
Right, I totally agree. I've opened up everyone's mic. I don't know if you noticed, but let's still try to just talk one at a time so we don't have any issues. Jessie, you do so much work on Clapper and off of Clapper and everything else. I just think you are so amazing. And I didn't even know about this women's radio. I'm going to have to get involved in that now. and I missed the first cancel. So I'm going to do my best to make it to the second one. I noticed Dawn opened up her mic. So Dawn, did you have another question?
I was just going through the grocery store picking up my groceries there, and I'm not sure if I missed it, but Jess, did you mention Wednesday's radio after Pride mom sessions that you're kind of involved in as well?
No, I forgot about that. Don't tell mom
I
sessions.
thought so,
Keep that a
sweetie. So
secret.
I just we won't tell her, but I just thought you might want to plug.
I'm telling.
I am so nervous. Mom
No
says mom
secrets.
never
No
is.
secrets. Tell it all.
Yeah, no, there's what what the Mother Wednesday? I believe I'm saying that right. What the Mother
Yep,
Wednesday?
that's what I call it anyway.
Yeah, it's after our Pride radio at 8 o'clock. Well, our radio starts at 7 and it usually lasts an hour. But if we're having good conversation, Mom Sesh lets it roll. And then as soon as our radio closes, she opens up. She's so supportive of other people's radios. Um, I would like to give her an applause for that. She's an amazing person, creator. But she will open her radio right after ours, and it's for moms to talk about mom issues and kind of lean on each other and support each other, which is needed by so many. I was a strong advocate for bringing it back and getting it going again, and I'm very grateful for that radio.
Yes, that's a radio I'd also like to be more involved with since I'm a grandmother, but I've raised two grandchildren and two grandchildren that have some major mental disabilities. So I really want to get more into that radio because I could use some help in those areas myself. And I know that a lot of those topics get brought up in that radio. So let's see, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in the room. Does anyone else have any questions for Jessie?
If I may.
Go ahead, Rooster.
Thank you, Rita. Jeff, would like to know a little bit more detail about Pride Radio, the day, the time that you have your show, and what this is all about Pride Radio. Also, I'd like to follow up and touch a little bit more on the relationship that you have with Seth. How many other areas do you interact with her?
How many what?
Other areas that you interact with Mom?
He's
Okay.
cutting out a little bit, Jessie, and I think he's probably driving. I think what he was asking you is how many other radios or how many other things are you involved with Mom Sesh?
I think he was getting to my question. I kind of tapped as well, but I wanted you to touch on your interviews with Jess in the paper and, that kind of stuff as well. And I think that might be where Rooster's going.
Yeah. So,
Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
I also wanted you to touch more on Pride Radio and tell us a little bit more about Pride Radio as far as it being a safe place and what we do on Sundays.
Yeah. Pride Radio is on Wednesdays and Sundays. So Wednesday is topic based, and they're both at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday and Sunday. But on Wednesday is topic based, and we pick a topic and we discuss it. It is a safe place. Nothing leaves the room, and if so, we find out, you're done, you're blocked, because it's about making sure that's a safe space. And we're all understanding and supportive. So it's important to all of us that it stays that way. And Sundays are fun days. We play games. We have, trivia or little get to know yous, would you rathers, all kinds of things that are fun. And we laugh so much on Sundays. It's a great way to start the week. Um, I enjoy it very much, and I'm glad that we started doing that because it's just a nice way to start the week, a positive way. And when we leave that radio, I always feel good, and that's always nice. The Girl Talk is on Mondays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's one of the radios that I'm involved with. Mom Sesh. It's Mom Sesh, Rachel, Effie, Standing Like Statues, Dawn 2.0, and Storm when she can make it. She's working, so she wasn't able to be there at all times, but she's always one of my people. And we have the play is, what I mentioned earlier. That's this Saturday is the encore. It's the last showing for it at 1 p.m. And you should be able to find it with Diva Las Vegas. Oh, Diva's actually here. Diva Las Vegas. And I'm not sure who else will have a mic. Last time at Lodi had a mic. So you can follow them to find the radio and keep an eye out for it being sent out. And they will be having auditions for the next play in May. May 3rd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and May 5th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm sure it'll have a good showing.
That's awesome. The other question I think Dawn and Rooster were trying to ask was about the paper. Now, I know that you do a lot of interviews on the paper. What types of interviews do you do?
I like to do interviews with the creators that I want people to get to know more in depth. People that I see I see good in them, or I see the positive energy that they put out into the world. I enjoy doing the articles on those people. It makes me feel good to be able to get their information out there and share them with our community. And I've had a large variety of people. I'm not just doing arts and crafts specifically anymore. I do have a list building, so I don't really have to go out and search for them. In the beginning, I would have to kind of go and ask people. And, that in a way was a little more challenging. But now that people are starting to hear about it and know about it, they want to be involved in the newspaper, and they should be. It's a really good place for everyone to go for information. They have great articles and different fun things to do. I believe they still do the puzzles, and I don't know what you really call them, but fun things, fun little activities, and the interactions. I enjoy them.
Right. And I love that you're involved in so much. Okay, you guys, we're coming close to the end now. We've got maybe 5 minutes left of the interview, and then I'll open up the radio for everybody just to conversate. But I did want to mention real quick before I take any questions. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I do interviews over here on Telegram for Lean On Me Radio. It's at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm also going to be starting again Friday and Saturday over on Clapper, just for general discussion, different topics, people that are going through things. I know that a lot of the radios do these things as well, but here's the deal. The more radios that you get involved in, the better off you are. Because let's say you can't make one radio one day. at a certain time. But you can make another radio that's basically the same thing and it's at a different time. So it's really convenient. And we do talk about a lot of different things. And I always love the fun days as well. Oh my God. I may even start doing a little bit of that here and there sometimes, if there isn't anything to talk about at any other times. So again, it's Tuesday and Thursday. I do interviews. Friday and Saturday, I have open radio discussion on Clapper, as well as many others. Anybody have any more questions for Jessie before we close?
So you're saying about Pride Radio, what happened to it on Wednesday? Like, I was ready and pumped, ready to go, Jessie. What happened to it? Like, come on.
Yeah. We had play practice, and a majority of us that are in the Pride panel are in the play also. So we did open it for a short period of time, not as long as usual, but we did do that to be there for anyone that needed us, but not the usual length of time. And we always enjoy seeing you there, Tyler. We appreciate it.
Yep, I see you there too, because no one does a radio advertisement like I do, you know. And you
Very
said
true.
the 3rd and the 5th. May 4th, my B-day.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you. And
So I want to thank everyone again for being here today, and Jessie, especially you. I really appreciate you, and getting to know you a little bit better, and hopefully we can have another interview somewhere along the line at a later date, and bring up some even more topics, because I know you are involved in so much, and maybe we can get more in depth about some different things that you've got going on with you. So again, I want to thank you for being a part of Lean On Me Radio today, Jessie. And I want to thank everyone else who participated and asked Jessie questions today. Have a good evening and see you next time.